Hey there and happy Friday. So I feel like I haven't seen you guys for a while through the lens here, and you're probably feeling that same way about me. October has been wonderful with the busy harvest season. Everything's clicking along, going so well, and it just made me feel so good about stepping back a little bit from videos. I haven't hardly stepped back much from the business because I'm still interacting with you guys behind the scenes and such, and often I'm doing stamp stuff while in the tractor, helping with harvest. Just don't tell my son that, who's running the combine. But anyway, I want to make up just a quick stack of like a dozen cards to send out for orders that I got for the clearance rack refresh. And so I'm like, okay, when I think about a dozen, I think that's how many cards I can usually make with a package of Designer Series paper. So I pulled out the Rustic Harvest Designer Series paper, and I love this stuff. And out of that whole paper packet, I have kind of been just saving this particular design, that sheet, because I love it so much. I'm sure you guys do the same thing. And I'm like, okay, today is the day to cut it up, and I'm going to show you how you can actually get 16 cards card fronts made out of a couple sheets of this pretty Designer Series paper. And so with that, it makes up quick, easy cards. And that's kind of what I need this month, are things that look pretty, but come together rather quickly. Hi there, Linda. Thanks for joining in. So let me get my camera turned around. So my deal this week, like the month of October, instead of doing like my card packs for ordering as my kind of reward for you guys, I am doing something where you'll get a package of solid faceted gems. If your order using my host code is $75 or more, and if it's $100 or more, you will get the solid faceted gems plus rhinestones too. So with that, I send them out, those little rewards, with a card. So this week, people will be getting this card from me for their orders. And so it's just been really fun to stay connected that way. And you guys have been so good at still supporting me, even though it's been busy with harvest and I haven't been able to sneak to do videos. But today, that all changes, because I'm going to make this card for you, and it's coming from the mini catalog here on pages 48 and 49. I knew right away I wanted this whole suite of products just because it's wonderful. A lot of you have been loving this embossing kit, and I bring that up often. Today I'm focusing on the pretty Rustic Harvest paper. It is back in. It's kind of been in and it's been out. Same with this bundle. And so it's been fun to see the popularity. Not that I just love it myself, but that you guys do as well. Another thing that's kind of a hidden gem in this suite of products is the black 12x12 cardstock. For those at Scrapbook, I could about hear the squeals because Stampin' Up! Hasn't carried black 12x12 cardstock in quite a few years. So I'm hoping that people are ordering it, so Stampin' Up! Sees that, yes, this is something that they need to carry in the annual catalog as a staple type of thing. So, oops, I flipped too many pages. So on the next page, you can see the full stamp set. And then I like to point out within the dies that if the camera picks it up, there's some detail within those dies that are just so fun. So today I'm only using from the Rustic Pumpkin dies. I'm only using this as a cutout for the sentiment, but then you'll see like these little details on there. And I did a class a few weeks ago, a community ed class in Medelia, and I think that they didn't really notice it right away. And then they picked up their piece to sponge and they're like, oh, that's so cool. And then as they sponged around it, those details became more pronounced too. So you've got like a skinny pumpkin, or you can like layer it on a pumpkin like this. Then we've got this, and then we've got this pumpkin, whoops, image that cuts out with the dies, and then you can always stamp it ahead of time too. So I was just pulling out some pieces that I had die cut extra, but obviously there's lots of things in that die set that comes with that bundle for 10% savings. Hello, Shelly. Good to see you on here. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Carol. And I'm glad you guys have not forgotten about me or given up. All right. So now you're saying on to the card. So here it is. I love how this black just makes everything pop. So when I was playing with this rustic harvest paper and pulled this out, I'm like, ooh, the yellow really like spoke to me. And it's not just yellow, it's crushed curry, which is a lot of your guys' favorite. So as I pulled that out in black, I'm like, okay, I want to do something with this. I'm like, well, I think this is just how we're going to do it, is just kind of keep it simple and use a couple of the colors just to make it pop and such. And then I wanted to pull in a little bit of white through the sentiment to pick out those butterflies and kind of the light white shading around those beautiful colored flowers too. So this is all part of that suite. And so I'm going to leave this here and set this here. And something that I'm doing a little different today is, whoops, I just dropped this, is when I cut this, usually when I'm cutting card fronts, I cut the designer series paper 5 1/4 like this, and then in 4-inch chunks to get like 6 card fronts in a page. Today I cut it 5 1/2. And then I'm going 3-inch chunks across there. So I'm going to get, instead of 12 card fronts out of a package of designer series paper, I'm going to get 16. And I feel like it doesn't take away from the prettiness of it. I didn't feel like it needed the full chunk, and you sure could, and it would look just as gorgeous. So that's a little bit different than what I normally do. So I like to point that out. But my color combination, I kind of went through that. And then I'm hoping that I remember to show you kind of the difference of using a black and white strip versus another crushed curry piece of designer series paper here. So what I'm going to do, I think first, is do my stamping. And from the Hello Harvest stamp set, I'm going to pull out my Memento ink pad here. And wishing you the loveliest day. I'm just going to ink that up with my Memento black ink here, like so. And the inside of this card for everybody that receives it with my little reward is going to be just blank in the inside, because wishing you the loveliest day could be like happy birthday or just hey, thinking of you type card and such. So I want to leave that blank so that it's useful for whatever it's needed. Most of my stampers have lots of sentiments on hand, or it might be something that you go, nope, now I need an extra sentiment stamp set. Who doesn't? To have just the right inside sentiment to go along with it. So just going to put this in my mini cut and emboss machine there, get that lined up. And that's the only die cutting. So it's wonderfully done. It has a little bit of a beveled edge to kind of highlight the black outline there. So I'm going to just set that aside. And then it's basic just assembly, which I love. Okay, so that's for the inside. I'll save that till last. So just to kind of reiterate, this is cut 5 1/2 by 3 inches here, like so. And, oops. I hear a semi. Yep, semi's coming to load out pigs right now. I'm like, what is that loud noise? Okay, so this piece is 5 1/2 also by 3 1/2, because I wanted the 1/4 inch to be on both sides. And so I want this to line up perfectly. And I know I've showed you guys this trick or tip that I use myself, and so I just want to bring it on camera to show you how I line things up so that it's not just, you know, a little bit off over the top or over the bottom. So I put the piece that I'm going to be taping it to right up on my my trimmer, and I push it up to the top or the bottom and to make sure that it stays there. And then I just lay this right up against the top, so that's pushing against there too. And then it's lined up exactly perfect. And if there's any extra, it's just going to be on one end, so I only have one end to trim, but this turned out perfect. So then I'm going to do that same trick or technique here. Just a little lining up thing. Don't we all need help with that? Same thing. I'm just going to open up my basic black card base here and push that against the top. And then when I push this against the top, then that's going to be flush with that too. So just a little tip. And then if there's extra, like I said, I can easily cut across the bottom, but then I'm not having to line up both ends, and it just makes things really easy, like so. All right, so now all I have to do is add my sentiment, and I saw another demo. She just put like a little strip of Designer Series paper underneath there, and I really liked how it kind of made the sentiment pop and kind of coordinated the colors. I liked the crushed curry, but in this paper pack, there's also some of the basic black and white pattern too, which is kind of fun. So maybe just chime in, because I always like to hear what you guys like. I think I'm going to make the black one with this card because my sample already has the crushed curry on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and craft while you guys chime in with, hey, I think I liked the black better or the crushed curry better. And then this strip is just 4 inches by 3/4. So when I do my normal cards, a lot of times, like I say, I cut this pretty paper 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then you've always got that 12-inch by 1.5-inch strip. Well, that's where this comes in so handy. So I just cut the 1.5-inch strip in half. So it's now 3/4, and then 4-inch sections, and then there will be no waste by the time I'm done there. And then my wishing you the loveliest day. I thought about coloring that in, but I think leaving it just white with the black ink kind of is just a nice subtle sentiment. And then it just kind of ties in like with the white butterfly. And like I said, the white of the highlighting of the flowers too. So I'm just going to put that sentiment right on top of that little strip. And oh, Lisa chimed in already. She likes the black. And then we have that. So here we go again, now that I've got that part done. And then I've got these fun embellishments here. The glossy dots assortment, and there's like the purples, the pinks, the yellows, and the blues. And the yellow I thought kind of looked kind of bright, but when I put it on my card, it kind of made it look crushed curry. So it kind of just tones down. So I'm just going to put, there's 3 different sizes, small, medium, large. I'm going to put the large on here because I feel like the banner with the sentiment's pretty large, and so it can handle that fun big embellishment to go with it too. Linda likes it with black too. Then I'm wondering too if I should have maybe put some black matte dots on there, but yet I kind of like just the pop that yellow gives on there too. So I think I'm just gonna leave the yellow on there. But yeah, so thanks for chiming in. I always appreciate that. And then for the inside, because I can't leave my inside blank, I'm going to open up my Garden Green ink pad, which is the color that the artist used for the Designer Series paper here. And in that same set, there's a fun little fall leaf. So I'm just going to ink that up with Garden Green and just kind of stamp that in the corner here like so. So it leaves plenty of room for the sentiment. Like I said, this card could be used for a lot of different reasons, but I'm going to leave that up to you for when you receive it for how you want to use it to make it super versatile. Okay, there you go. So I should have showed you, well, I have my catalog right here, the solid faceted gems. So I'm just going to touch base quick on what my weekly special is. And so if you order $75 or more this week, and some of you already did because of the clearance rack refresh on Tuesday, which was a complete surprise to me, then those people, and I'm going to try and get those out today or tomorrow, will be getting solid faceted gems if the order is over $75 or more. And if it's over $100, I mail out this plus this with this card. And then next week, I'll have another embellishment package that I'm mailing out with cards. And that one will be on the other page, the rustic metallic adhesive dots with a $75 order. And then I add in the rhinestones if it gets to 100 as well. So I'm going to now take a picture of my card and then post that. Thanks, Lisa. Thank you, Kay. Let me get this turned around. Hi, Tabitha. So what I'm going to do next is take a still shot picture of this card that I just made And then I'm going to post all the details, not the measurements because they're pretty easy and I went through it on the video, but just like the recipe of all the supplies needed to make the card or what I use. So you have the colors and all that. And with that, I will also post the monthly host code. So if somebody is needing something and wants my little reward that I'm giving, then you'll know what host code to plop into your cart when you check out. And if you decide that your order is really large and you get over 150 and want to use your own host rewards, just know that you'll get a little something from me in the mail, and you'll always get a card from me anytime you order. So hopefully you guys have a fun weekend planned, and after this month and harvest, it'll still be busy, but I hope to kind of mix things up and maybe do something again different in November. So thanks so much for watching and supporting, and see you soon. Bye-bye.